What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Omar BYT, ladies and gentlemen. And welcome, guys, to another Barcelona Transfer News episode, guys. Big up to every single one of you guys. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is another episode of the Transfer News, guys. And as you guys know, the transfers don't stop, guys. Still, there's a lot of stuff happening at the club. Good news this week is that, listen, a player has been signed, sealed, and delivered. And listen, there's been other links as well. Other players have been linked to the club and so many other stuff. And obviously, we know the deadline for, I guess, the Club World Cup transfer window has been on. And basically, since we're not involved, it doesn't really matter if we participate, whether we participate in that or not. However, I would say this right now, we did our job. We got some great news today, and we do have a lot of links, some good news, some of them not so much, if I'm going to be very, very honest. I wasn't very happy. I've not been happy with some of the links that have been, players that have been linked to the club as far as, links have been concerned. However, ladies and gentlemen, there is, like I mentioned, some good news. So big up to every single one of you guys. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Where else do we start, ladies and gentlemen? Where else should we start than this big news, ladies and gentlemen? That here we go. We got it yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. Fabrizio Romano has tweeted yesterday that Joan Garcia to Barcelona. Here we go. Documents are now in place for the Spanish goalkeeper. The release clause is to be paid in next days. Could happen next week, but all contracts are now ready. Joan Garcia will sign a 5-year deal, and it's all set, ladies and gentlemen. And listen. What can I say about this deal that hasn't already been said? Like, this is a huge deal. I'm so happy that we finally got this deal over the line, because let's be honest, right? If we're just going to be completely objective, we need a new keeper. We've needed a new keeper for a while, and after last season, Szczesny being in the team, doing his thing, and playing to his absolute best, it still wasn't enough in certain situations, right? And let's be honest, when it comes to a guy like Szczesny, right, the kind of player that he is, he's a guy that is tired, right? He's not available. He's not one of these guys who we can rely on anymore. And we'll see what happens. But as far as this deal is concerned, guys, I am over the moon about this deal, because it's what we needed. It is what we needed. Forget about everything else. We needed this move to happen, right? We've needed a keeper for quite a long time, and I'm just glad that at the end of the day, we just got it out of our system now, right? We don't have to think about, whether Szczesny is going to be the keeper, all that drama that is happening with all of that. To know that, at the end of the day, to have a goalkeeper like this, who, let's be honest, right? Last season, he was playing for a team that was fighting for relegation. This guy was fighting relegation last season. And let's be honest, Espanyol escaped relegation mainly because of this guy's prowess. This guy was an absolute demon in the goal last season, right? So getting him in is absolutely amazing for us. But as you all know, there's a lot of stuff, that's been going on in the club as far as with everything that's happening with Szczesny. We don't know what's going to happen with all of that. I don't know what's, listen, I'll definitely get into that in the Camp Nou confidential show later on today. But I will tell you this now. This is what we needed. Forget about everything else. This move is what we needed done, because Barcelona, for so many years, especially in the Champions League specifically, we've had situations when the goalkeepers didn't turn up, i.e. Ter Stegen, right? Last season, he was injured for most of the season. But before that, he was under pressure. He comes back from injury and was already making mistakes. Even in the international break, right? I'm not going to lie, I don't think he was that bad in the international break. But still, regardless of all of that, he's still not good enough anymore. I feel like we've needed to move on from Ter Stegen for a while. So getting this move done is absolutely great news for us. So I'm absolutely over the moon that we got this deal done. And listen, it is what it is. What can I say about anything else? As far as Joan Garcia is concerned, I mean, he's still a young player. he's got a lot of potential, as we know. He did well last season. Give me a second. Let me actually pull this up. Give me a second. Espanol. Here we are. Now, a lot of people, I've been noticing, a lot of people have been talking about Joan Garcia, basically, as far as like, him moving from rivals and everything else about that. Look, give me a second. Let me actually pull this, check this out. Give me a second. I mean, there you go. See, guys, Joan Garcia is 24 years old, right? He's 24 years old. We've signed him. I think we triggered the buyout clause. Look at that. He's got 8 clean sheets. He's considered 51 goals, right? He saved 2 out of 6 penalties. His rating for the whole season is 7.17, which is incredible for a goalkeeper that's been fighting relegation all season. So getting this deal done is actually pretty good, right? At the end of the day, let's be honest, right? If you look at, especially in that final game against Las Palmas, he was absolutely cooking in that game. Right, they won. That was a must-win for them, because if they didn't win, they would have gotten relegated. Right, so getting a clean sheet in that game, he absolutely cooked, and you saw the reaction from the Espanyol fans, how they were reacting to like his saves and everything else about that. It was absolutely incredible. But I'm just happy that we got this deal done. Honestly, for me, more than anything else, right? Just getting this deal completed. But where's the bookmark? Where is the? Okay. There we are. See? By the way, guys, for those of you asking for the invite, give me a second. This is a closed stream for now. Just to be clear. Anyways, this is one of the few things. Like, this is actually something I saw last night on Twitter. This is actually incredible. This is basically Joan Garcia on the streets of Barcelona. Basically, they've already made up their mind about the kid. And look, this is actually pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie, but if I'm gonna be very honest, this is gonna be very interesting to see in the next season, because the Espanyol fans really love him, right? And it's very we have to see. Wait a minute, what's going on? Sorry about that, guys. I just saw something on my screen right now. I had to get that fixed. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, as you guys can see, the streets of Barcelona, these guys have already made up their mind on this kid. Like you can see, he's already. I mean, look. If I'm gonna be very honest, this is pretty nice. But I'll tell you this now. There's gonna be a lot of Espanyol fans that are not gonna be happy to see this, right? If we're just gonna be honest, right? Because I see a lot of people on Twitter have been kind of putting it out there how, next season this guy's gonna get the Luis Figo treatment. I mean, look, obviously we know Barcelona and Espanyol are crosstown rivals, right? At the end of the day, there's no love between the clubs, and it's really very, very interesting to see what happens when he does return back to Espanyol next season. But look, if I'm gonna be very honest, man, I get why maybe some Espanyol fans will be angry. However, I just have to say this now, right? What were they kind of expecting from like this guy at the start of the season, right? At the end of the day, yes, he was gonna leave, right? At the end of the day, let's be honest. Barcelona, whether you are rivals or not, this is a step up in his career, right? His options this season were either Barca, Arsenal, or Newcastle, right? At the end of the day, he wasn't going to go to Barcelona. He wasn't going to go to Arsenal and replace David Raya. So what's the deal? What is the deal? So and Newcastle, with all due respect, at the end of the day, Newcastle were never going to sign this guy over us, right? So getting this deal done is, for me, is exactly what we need, and it's exactly what he needs. And look, when it comes down to it, Joan Garcia wants to go to the club where he can basically give himself an opportunity to play in the World Cup next year, right? More than anything else, that is what he wants. He wants to play in the World Cup next year. And look, playing in the Champions League next season, right? Depending on how Barcelona do in the Champions League, how we do in the league, right? And how hell he does in Europe next season, you never know. You never know, because Unai Simon, he's a good goalkeeper, but to be honest, he makes a lot of mistakes. He makes a lot of errors. He's usually very, very error prone when it comes to making mistakes sometimes, especially like for Bilbao, not for Spain, to be fair. But you just never know. And I feel like it's not a closed book as far as the doors for being Spanish goalkeeper is concerned. And moving to Barcelona, it's only going to increase his chances, really, right? So for him, it's a great move for him. But we go to my guy Mohamed Abdul says, "Do you think Real Madrid have a chance of beating us under Xavi next season?" I mean, listen, you never know, man. At the end of the day, I don't really know what Alonso is gonna do next season. Look, if I'm just gonna be very objective, this is what I'm gonna say right now. Okay, this move for Real Madrid getting Alonso, let's be honest, right? He did a great job at Bayer Leverkusen. So this is a good move. However, I want to see what he does in the Club World Cup. I want to see how he's going to change the tactics, the formation, what style he's going to play, right? We really need to see. But right now, I'm not afraid of Real Madrid. I'm not afraid of anyone. I think that at the end of the day, man for man, we can beat them, right? Right? We are just as good as they are. So at the end of the day, and also, let's be honest, we did the sweep on them. So it doesn't really matter to me. I think that we can definitely beat them next season with Xabi Alonso or without Xabi Alonso. So I'm not afraid at all. Well, big up to my guy NJ, man. How you doing, bro? How are you doing? I hope you're doing good, man. Big up to you guys every time. Make sure you guys smash the like button, guys. Big up to everyone. Big up to the chat, man. Big up to the chat every single time, man. But yeah, listen. Let me know what you guys are saying about this Joan Garcia move. Tell me what you guys are saying about this move. Do you think it's a great move for us? Do you think are you guys happy to see this guy finally make his move to Barcelona? I'm liking all these pictures that a lot of these Barcelona Twitter people have been putting out here. This is very good. I mean, listen, I get why they're also doing it, but also it's very, very funny because you know that the fans are going to be absolutely fuming seeing this, right? Like the Espanyol fans are not going to be happy seeing this, but it's going to be very, very interesting. Yeah, big up to my guy Jonas, man. Big up to you, bro. He says, I think us getting Joan Garcia is a very good signing. With Shez as backup goalkeeper, I think we have a pretty good squad. I agree 100%, right? Look, if I'm going to be very honest, we just need to find another way. You know what I mean? Well, we just have to deal with this Ter Stegen situation, get it sorted. Because look, I don't want any drama to happen because of this guy, right? Because I don't know what he plans on doing when he returns from international duty. But from everything I've been hearing, it's not been good. Right? Like they've been saying that he's not been happy and all of these stuff. Look, at the end of the day, the club have to do what we have to do in the end. So I just hope that it doesn't affect the squad at all. Just our squad is pretty strong. We just need fullbacks and wingers. I mean, listen, we're gonna get into it. Because guess what, bro? We've been linked to a fullback and we've been linked to wingers. So I'm gonna get into all of that as well. But yeah, man, big up to you guys. It says, what's your opinion as a Barcelona fan of Verts joining Liverpool for 150? It's a good move. It's absolutely a good move. I mean, you're talking about one of the best up-and-coming young players in world football. Like this guy, he's up there. Like if you look at the next generation, right? You think about the Yamals, the Musialas, the Desiree Doués, all these guys. Like Verts, he's in that list. You understand what I mean, right? So getting this move done is incredible. And and just outside for a second, out of Barcelona for 1 second, Liverpool have been very impressed with how they've been approaching this transfer window. They've clearly shown their intent. They are not resting on their laurels, because I feel like a lot of people were kind of worried that these guys were going to rest on their laurels and basically, these guys were going to come in and try to, because they have just won the league, they're not going to take advantage and try to go to transfer window and get the players that they need. No, Liverpool have shown that they are not resting on their laurels, and that is good news for any Liverpool fan, right? This just gives you much more hope to look forward to next season, for sure. Look up, NJ says, this summer transfer window is about building and adding depth. Then we'll go for it next summer. I mean, look. This is the thing also, NJ. If we're just going to be honest, Barcelona don't really have a lot of areas we need to fix, right? This this idea that, oh, we need to go and buy players here and then players there and all of this. Look, I disagree. I disagree. At the end of the day, we just need to get a fullback and a winger, right? And listen, we have been linked to these players. The fact that we've now gotten a keeper, for me, is exactly what we needed, right? This is exactly the move we needed to make. So at the end of the day, everything else I'm good with. So we need to go out and we need to take advantage. We cannot rest on our laurels anymore. We cannot. We have to take advantage of this situation here, right? And try and go into the transfer window and get the players that we need. So next season, we can go all out for the Champions League. You understand what I mean? So, yeah. It would be cool if we win the Champions League this season. Hey, listen, man, you got to build a team to do it. That's what it is. Why didn't we win the Champions League this season? Why? Why didn't we win the Champions League? Let's be honest. A lot of the reason why we didn't win the Champions League is because, firstly, we were hit with injuries in our fullback positions, and we had to play our backup fullbacks who didn't do a good job, right? We didn't take advantage of a lot of these areas in the team that needed to be fixed. So, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I have a strong feeling that we have a chance of making the Champions League final next season. Listen, man, we have to give ourselves the best chance. That's what it's all about, Mohammed. That's what it's all about. We have to give ourselves a chance. We have to. But yeah, it says Verts is worth 80 million. He ain't better than Bayern. I mean, I disagree. I think Verts is a very, very good attacking midfielder, right? I mean, yes, is he overpriced? Maybe. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and say he's not overpriced, but listen, he's definitely a good player. I rate him very highly. He's a very, very good player. Yeah. Says Joan Garcia improves our chances, but I don't like our defense. Exactly. I mean, look, if I'm going to be honest, we need to work more on our fullbacks more than any other position. You understand what I mean? We have to work on our fullbacks more than any other position. If we can get new fullbacks next season and top fullbacks, we'll be good. Because getting a left winger is vital, because it means that we can rotate Yamal and Rafinha. Exactly. You get it. You're speaking my language, and that's exactly what we need to do. We need to go out in the transfer window, and we need to go and get ourselves a left winger, 100%. Right? Hold on, give me a second. Let me actually pull this up. And speaking of left wingers, guys, hold on. Speaking of left wingers, guys, I don't know if you guys saw it yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. My guy, Luis Díaz, yesterday scored an absolute beauty, man. Yesterday, I'm not gonna lie, that goal against Argentina, bro, that goal was insane, man. It was absolutely incredible, bro. That was a Messi-esque. That is Yamal-esque, right? And look, I'm not gonna lie, man. When I saw that goal, I was gassed. I was like, yo, like, imagine we have two wingers that can dribble like that in our team. Like, imagine. Like, bro, we would absolutely rip it to shreds next season. But look, at the end of the day, as much as Barcelona won the player, and as much as I'm even okay with us getting him in, he's too expensive. Like, at the end of the day, Liverpool are not moving from where they are. They are not moving. They refuse to move. They're saying, listen, at the end of the day, 80 million or bust. And Barcelona are saying, listen, we are not spending 80 million on him. Because with all due respect, as good as he is, this is a 28-year-old, right? For 80 million. Like, that's basically, what, 80% of our budget? Like, come on, man. Like, we can't do that. We have to be smart in the transfer window. We have to be smart. That's what we got to do. Luis Díaz and a center back. There you go. We need to get Luis Díaz, but brother, we cannot risk being financially broke forever, man. Are you crazy? There's beat by 5-0 FC is crazy. I mean, I don't know if you're talking to me. I know who you're talking to, but I know that's not me. It says, what I mean is that it will be good to reshape the depth and add more great quality. And if we can win the Champions League, perfect. It will go for Alvarez next season. I mean, the Alvarez thing has kind of been picking weight, and I'm glad to see that the club are looking at him. But look, we'll see what happens with that. It says, not selling Ferran Torres, Eric, etc. I mean, look, I've said it before. I'm open to selling Ferran Torres for the right price. If we get a good price for Ferran, I will honestly take him, man. Honestly, if we get a good price for him, yeah, absolutely, I'll take him for sure. I'll take him for sure. Just would you guys take that? Would you guys honestly take that scrub Diaz? I mean, listen, man. I feel like Diaz. Look, I've said this before. When it comes to players, there are certain players. When you play in a certain league, sometimes players are just other leagues. They do better in other leagues. And if you look at a player like Luis Diaz, even Liverpool fans will tell you, right? In the Premier League, maybe that's not where his best quality can be shown. However, in a club like Barcelona, in a league like La Liga, I feel like he would cook. Bro, you saw what he did yesterday against Argentina, bro. Look at imagine what he would do in a league where wingers are let free to actually move around, right? And let's be honest, on the flick, you've seen how guys like, what's his name, Yamal or Rafinha, how they can cut inside and hit it with their left and the right foot. Like at the end of the day, Luis Diaz could definitely cook for us, but we cannot afford breaking the bank for a player like this. We don't have the facilities for that. Come on, man. Like we need to learn. We need to learn from our mistakes. Yes, I don't mind Perisic. And if we sign Lukman and Nico and then send Power Victor on loan, Perisic can take his part. I mean, let's talk about it. Give me a second. Let's talk about it. So apparently Barcelona are now looking at bringing in Ivan Perisic. All right, let's talk about it. Okay, it says Ivan Perisic is keen on joining Barcelona. He would come on a free transfer and will serve as a backup in the attack, alongside in the main position in the left wing. He's also capable of playing in right wing and as a striker, and even as a fullback, on either side. Something that Flick really values. His wages won't be an issue, and his main motivation is to stay in the top level ahead of the club of the 2026 World Cup. Oh, good God Almighty, guys! Chat, chat. Tell me what you guys think about this. Tell me what you guys think about this. What are you guys saying about this? I mean, look. Okay, so I'm gonna be very unbiased, right? Let me just state my unbiased opinion on this. Okay. First of all, is this a good move? Yeah. At the end of the day, would he be a good squad player? Yes, he would. He would be a good squad player. But look, if I'm just gonna be very honest, man, I just don't know what I don't know what the plan is to bring him in. Like what is the plan? What are we gonna gain from bringing him in? Do you understand what I mean? Like, let me know what you guys are saying in the chat about this move, because if I'm just gonna be 100% with you guys, I don't know, man. Like I feel like yeah, his versatility is good, but brother, this guy's not young. How old is Perisic anyway? Like on the real, wait a minute, hold on. How old is Ivan Perisic? No, Ivan Perisic is 36 years old, guys. Ivan Perisic is 36 years old, guys. Like, bro, why are we honestly? What's the point of bringing in a guy who's only gonna be here for like what, a year? Like, I don't understand. I really don't get it. Like, he's not gonna play that much, right? Right? And that's all fine and dandy, but if I'm going to be honest, if we're going to sign Ivan Perisic, we need to make sure that we go and get the players that we actually need long term first, right? Go get me a starting winger first. Go get me a fullback. I would rather I would rather bring in Grimaldo. I'm sorry. I would rather bring in Grimaldo. I would rather bring in Rateyu. I would rather bring in Vanderson. Like, these are all players who are going to be here long term. We're going to be here for a very long time. But we're insisting on bringing in a player in Perisic who, as versatile as he is, let's be honest, he doesn't start games. He's not old enough, right? Like, he's too old, right? We can't rely on him in the big moments, in the big games, right? He's not the same guy, but everyone is just talking about his versatility. I mean, I'm not for this move. I don't know about you guys. It's just if you're a good talented player, doesn't mean that the price is 150 million. It's overpriced for a Premier League club playing. I mean, yeah. That is true. That is true. That is true. This, if Diaz is 55 million less, I'll take him. Absolutely. Oh, absolutely, man. That's not even a debate. That is not even a debate. If we had that amount, if 55 million, bro, I would like, yo, buy it, pay it. Don't even waste your time, man. Yes. Yep. I mean, it is what it is. Just, I hope we don't pay 50 million for Luis Diaz. Premier League clubs always take overpriced stuff for big great players. Look, let's be honest. If they sell Luis Diaz, they're not gonna sell him for cheap. I don't know why anyone is just surprised. At the end of the day, we know they're gonna sell him for a high amount. So it is what it is. Big up to my guy Mark, man. What's up? What's up, Mark? How are you doing, man? He says, actually not against it. It's gonna be a backup for free. I mean, yeah, but I mean, am I in the minority here? Like, I don't know, guys. You guys in the chat tell me, am I in the minority? Because I think that if we are gonna bring in Perisic, we have to bring it around the end of the transfer window, not now. You understand what I mean? However, they're saying that Flick wants this move to happen, so it gives me I have a strong feeling that he's gonna sign. He says if Flick wants him, then he's gonna sign. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. I think that, because Flick wants him, we'll probably bring him in. But I just think that there's other positions that we can walk on even more than this, 100%. But exactly, Joy. See, this is the thing, Joy. A player like Perisic, when you sign a player like Perisic, you sign him to work with the stars that you have. You understand what I mean, right? And also, can I remind you all this most important detail? If we sign Perisic, we have to register him. You've seen last season how we struggled with registering players. Do you understand what I mean? Last season, we struggled with registering players. So bringing in Perisic, we just bring more problems to our registration. This is the problem that I have with this move. Because at the end of the day, it's just gonna affect us in ways that we don't want it to affect us. So we have to be smart about this in the transfer window. It says, play Perisic against lower tier opponents. It says the argument for Perisic is that he's more useful than Paul Victor and Ansu. Bro, that's not saying much. These guys are not gonna be at the club. These guys have barely played last season. You honest? These guys barely played last season. I don't know what the point is about that. Like for me, there's other options, right? The money that we could use, the time we would use to register a guy like Perisic, just go and get it for a player like Grimaldo who we can actually register in. I feel like a lot of people seem to forget this important thing. Like, this is the thing. This is already past his. Oh yeah, wait, bro. He's been past his prime for what? 7 years? Almost 7 years, bro. What? Since 2020, right? 2020, 2019, right? Because remember, he was part of the Bayern team that beat us 8-2, and he actually cooked in that game. I'm not even going into front, right? He cooked in that game, but brother, that was 5 years ago. That was 5 years ago, with all due respect. Like, come on, man. Anyways, because Ken Shaw says he's 50. I wish we got him when 7 years ago. Yeah, that would have been smart. He says Nico Williams is not good. He can't dribble and can't finish his shit. I disagree. I think he can do a job for us. He says he can come in, but he must not be a marquee winger. That's all. Oh yeah. There's absolutely no way we can make him a marquee signing of any kind. Honestly, there's absolutely no chance in hell. No chance in hell. Like, I'm sorry, we can't bring him in for that amount. You understand what I mean? Even for a free, right? And so that's why it worries me also if we sign him and we lose out on like a Luis Díaz or on what's his name, on a Nico Williams, or we don't bring in a Lookman or someone like that. They could just look and say, well, we have Perisic. Nah, man. Nah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. We need younger players, not an old man. Facts. You need to balance it out with youngsters and older players. Bro, NJ, this is the point you're missing. When we talk about older players, yes, we have a young team. But brother, I'm not saying you should go and buy 37-year-olds. Go get me, bro. Luis Díaz is an experienced player. He's 28. That is the kind of player that I want to see. I want to see a player who is experienced, but also has a lot of time to give in the top level. Do you understand what I mean? I feel like that's what people are missing out. When people always talk, the problem with people is whenever they hear the term experience, they think 20, 35, 36, 37, 38-year-old. No, it's not always about the 37-year-old. A 30-year-old would be experienced. That is an experience that I would take. You understand what I'm saying, right? I would take a 30-year-old. I'll take a 31-year-old. Someone that I know can give me 2 or 3 years of good football, of good service, right? Perisic cannot give me that. Perisic will probably retire after the World Cup. He's 37. Like, come on, man. He'll be 38 by the time the World Cup comes around. So we have to be very smart about this. At the end of the day, if Flick wants him, it will be good. If he wants him, will game is the game. Listen, I don't mind him bringing him in, but bro, we have to bring other players, because here's the thing. I'm all for bringing Flick's players. I'm all for it. I have nothing against us bringing in Hansi Flick's players. However, we have to balance it out. If we're going to bring Hansi Flick his players in, we also have to bring players that we know will be here after Flick is gone, right? We can't sit here and we cannot do the Antonio Conte thing where we're just going to be bringing in old geriatric players, and then when Conte leaves, they have to deal with geriatric players that are already in the team. Like, nah, absolutely not. We can bring his players, but we also have to bring younger players. Younger players. That's what's important. He says, bring an academy player instead of Perisic. I would take that. He says, Nico is the only one we must go for. Nico is the only one we must go for. What is wrong with Deco? It's just Deco being Deco, man. It's just Deco being Deco. I mean, I don't even get into that detail with Deco anymore, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. I don't even care anymore. I'm pretty sure Perisic will be on a 10 or 15K max. What? No, give me a second. What? Hold on. What? Let me search something. So at PSV, so he's okay. So they're saying he's getting paid 11. Nah, this can't be correct. 11 million per year, which is roughly 9. Nah, this can't be correct. This can't be correct. So okay, so he's earning 5.5K per week at PSV. Okay, I mean that's not bad, but still, it doesn't really. I don't really care much about that, to be honest. I don't really care about that much. He says, my guy, this guy ended Virgil van Dijk's career, bro, but he's not young and it's a concern. Exactly. Look, I'm not against. I've said it before. I'm not even against bringing him in for experience, and also he said he's a Flick player. I'm not against it. I just don't want him to be our key signing. You know what I mean? And the thing with Deco is I don't trust this guy, bro. I don't trust this guy. This guy could bring this guy in, and then all of a sudden just say, boom, we've missed out on Diaz, we've missed out on Nico, we've missed out on all these stars, and we're just going to bring this guy in. No, we can't do that. I'm sorry, but we can't. We have to be smart in the transfer window. Yes, to save Perisic for deadline day. Exactly. When we've gotten all the moves done. It says, Perisic is not the main priority for a lot of fans. For a lot of fans. I mean, look, I know what you're saying, bro, but here's what you're missing out. This is what you're feeling to not understand about this Perisic move, right? And big up to my guy Liam, man. Big up to Liam in the chat, man. Listen, Liam, obviously you signed this guy on the Flick, right? He was a good player for you guys, but that was 5 years ago. Let's be honest. He's not the same guy, but I mean, he's not a priority, but I'm just worried because I'll be honest, when I first heard this move, I thought, man, nah, this is just news. This is just newspapers just selling the news. You feel me, right? Like, there's no way Barcelona are going to be going for a player like this. But then I look back and I just saw how we were approaching transfer window. I was like, and then the link got strong and strong. And then when I heard the Flick about anyone, I was like, oh shit. This is not that's not a good thing. That is not a good thing. You feel me? So yeah, just why not sign PK as well for center back? Yeah, we got to you, man. He says, like, we're gonna go for the like he's gonna be our fourth sign. Exactly. You bring in Luis Díaz or Nico Williams. Get me a Grimaldo. get me a Rattay or Van der Sar, and then bring me a Perisic. You feel me? Yeah, that's what. Yeah, give me that and I'll take it. He says, bring me Nusa, Perisic, and a fullback. I mean, yeah, you know what? I rate Nusa very, very highly. I think Nusa is a very talented footballer, right? And also, guys, before we continue, guys, big up to every single one of you guys, bro. We got 39 people in here, man. 36, wait, actually 35. We got 35 people in here. Big up to every one of you. Smash the like button, guys. Big up to every single one of you guys. Every single time, man. Yeah, man. Make sure you guys smash the like button, guys. But yeah, let's continue. I mean, Nusa is a player with a lot of potential. But yeah, we've not been linked with him, so I'm not going to go into players that we're not linked to. It's just at the end of the day, it's Flick's decision. I mean, listen, you've been saying that now for a while. Big up to my brother, Don C. How are you doing, man? How are you doing, brother? I hope you're doing good. He says, till now, Deco hasn't bought any good players in our team. The players mostly are target. Wait a minute. The players mostly target are either old, they are B-grade players. Please sack this guy. There's PSG on the campus doing their best. Look, that campus guy is a good it's a very, very good sporting director. But let me just put the point on Deco, right? See, Hassan, I'm with you. I am not a big fan of Deco. I've said it before. I'm Deco out. I'm Deco out. I am not a big fan of Deco. So you're preaching to the choir. I don't want this guy in the club, right? I would rather we go out and get a good sporting director, because let's be honest, right? Let me actually pull this up. I'm gonna do this now. Let's do this right now. Deco signings as Barcelona. It's Barcelona sporting director. I want to actually pull out to see. Let me actually see the players that this fraud has actually brought in so far. Hold on, give me a second, guys. I'm gonna pull up something right now, because I want to see how many players, the list of players Deco signed sporting director of Barcelona. All right, well, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. We got it right here. Give me a second, guys. Let me actually pull this up. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Guys, look at this. Look at the players he's signed. He's brought in Olmo, Oriol Romeu, Ilkay Gundogan, Inigo Martinez, Christensen. No. First of all, he didn't bring any of these guys. Get us out of here. He didn't bring any of these guys. He didn't bring in Christensen. He didn't bring in Kessié, right? I think he brought in Inigo Martinez and Gundogan, who, let's be honest, Gundogan first season did well, but he became a flop. Oriol Romeu, what the fuck was this guy even point of signing him? Dani Olmo was probably the best signing we brought in. Paul Victor, we still don't know how good this guy is. He didn't do much last season, right? Loan deals. Look at this. We got the loan deal, right? Joan Cancelo. Yeah, he was okay, but made a lot of mistakes. João Felix was a complete dud of a signing. And then look at this. Victor Roque. This guy is the worst one. This guy, we spent 40 million on this guy. We could have gone to Brazil and go and get, what's his name? What's the name of the guy who we signed who Chelsea just signed? Esteval, right? This brother went to Brazil, completely went past Esteval and brought in Victor Roque, who was one of our worst signings I've seen in this club. I'm sorry, man. This is why when people tell me, oh, why are you always anti-Deco? It's because of this. Look at the players that this brother has brought in. Remember what Almani, like, bro, look at the players that we brought in, right? Guys like under Almani, we brought in players like Lewandowski, Rafinha, Kessié, right? He came in under him. Even guys like Bellerin, even guys like Marcos Alonso, they all did a job. How many players under Almani actually flopped? Let's be honest. How many players flopped under Matteo Almani, right? How many? We had so many good players around that time. It was an absolute joke. But Deco came in, and bro, apart from Omo, who, let's be honest, right? Omo has been a good signing, but brother, this guy has been making a lot of mistakes. You understand? I'm sorry, he's been injury prone. I meant to say injury prone. He's very injury prone, but he has been a good signing. I'm not even going to hate on it. He has been a good signing. However, it just shows you, man, with this Deco guy, it's just too much, man. It's just too much. I mean, I'm not for it at all, right? We should have kept Almani. We should have done everything in our power to keep Almani, but yeah, we insisted on keeping this fraud. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, I'm very worried about this. But just returning back to what we were just talking about with this guy, with that I'm sorry, with Perisic. But before I continue, let me actually continue reading some of your chats, because you guys, big up to every one of you guys, man. You guys have been very active in the chat. It says, why don't you go in for Paulinho or Goretzka? Not bad, at least. Maybe Paulinho. I'll probably take Paulinho. You should have brought in Sane or Martinez. Get the fuck out of here. Don't let Marco. Don't let me kick you. Don't let me ban you, man. Don't even do that. It says he can turn bombs into beasts, bro. He's not a miracle worker. Exactly. You can revive players that are already finished. It is what it is. Yeah, big up to my guy Liam again for the raid. Big up to Liam. Appreciate you for the raid every single time, brother. But yeah, it is what it is. He says exactly. That's his level, man. He says go and get Nabry. No, I'm good. And just says besides, Perisic is gonna be our last signing anyway, because they know we need fullbacks and a left winger than Perisic in the next few days. But I'm not sure, man. I am not sure. He says, we terminated Gundogan's contract for being an older guy and want to sign Perisic, who is much older than Gundogan. Good Lord, Deco and Laporta, masterpiece will never end. I don't even blame Laporta. I'm not going to lie. Laporta for me, he's in my good graces. You understand what I mean, right? Laporta is in my good graces. I don't even care much about Laporta himself, right? What I care about is this absolute fraud that we have in here, this Deco guy, right? And listen, I know people are going to say, but Laporta was the one who hired Deco. I mean, listen, I'll give him to that. I will agree to that for sure, but we'll see what happens. Listen, man, smash the like button, guys. Big up to every single one of you guys. Let's get to 30 likes. Let's get to 30, man. Big up, bro. What's up, man? What's up? How you doing, man? Says, why not lay out? No, I'm good with layout. People, I don't know. I feel like with a lot of people, when they look at Rafael Leao, they saw his performance against Spain, and many people were like, "Oh man, would you take Leao? Bro, come on, man! Like, what did he actually do in that game? He made one good cross. That was it. I don't remember anything else he did in the game. Like, come on, man! I'm good with Leao. I'm good with Leao, man. Just hit the like and subscribe, frauds. Big up to you, man. Big up to you, sis. Don't even know why the board let Armani go, for fuck's sake. It just makes no sense. What about Lookman and Paulinho? It's not bad. Yep. Yeah, it's not. Yeah. Yeah, it says Deco up. Just like you, man. It says Deco should have been gone. Exactly. And listen, let me tell you something right now about Deco, right? If I'm just gonna be very, very honest, Deco only has this season, because last season a lot of us gave him a pass, because for some of us who were just like, you know what it is what it is, right? Last season we were having registration problems, so maybe that's why we didn't go out and actually get the players that we needed. But this season there's no excuse. This season, man. He says, I swear Deco will build a South American lineup of flops. Go get me good. He can't even go and get good South Americans, the absolute fraud that he is. He says, go get Leao. He wants to play Champions League football since he's out of European competitions. No, you go to Chelsea. And speaking of Chelsea, big up to my guy Yasser, man. Yasser, how you doing, man? How are you doing, man? Big up to my guy Yasser every single time, man. He says, Armani, only Traore. Well, even Traore was a 6-month loan, and he was actually good. I'm not even going to say he was a bad signing, to be honest. He says, Deco so bad, he signed. Okay, all right. You almost got me there. He says, he's the one that wants to come. Yo, big up to my guy Street Fighter, man. How you doing, bro? How are you doing? But listen, just going back to the Perisic point. Apparently, you guys see it. Perisic wants to join. Also, Flick is interested in the player and has spoken with him. For the moment, Perisic prefers to wait for Barcelona. This is why he's put his contract extension with PSV on hold. I mean, look, of course he wants to join us. Like, that's the thing. This is the last big move of his career. This is the last big move of his career. He knows this is the last big move of his career. So he's going to do everything to try to get this move happen, right? And look, I will bring him in. And if he's willing to wait, yeah, fine. He can wait, right? Because at the end of the day, Barcelona, we just have to work on what we have and just try to get the players that we need. And then listen, after we get the players we need, then yeah, we can go back in for him, right? But yeah, let me know what you guys are saying about this thing, guys. But listen, I do want to actually move away from Perisic and actually talk about another player who's in the fringes as well. Man like Hector Ford, guys. Apparently Hector Ford has turned down offers from Ajax and in the winter transfer window and plans on rejecting all offers in the summer because he's happy to compete and he's happy and committed in staying to Barcelona. So you want to stay in Barcelona, do you, brother? You want to stay at the club? Okay. Here's the thing, Hector. You might have a future at the club, maybe, but here's the problem, my friend. You're not good enough for where we need to go to. You feel me? Right? I feel like what Victor Ford needs more than anything else is a loan deal. He needs to go out on loan. He needs to go out on loan, right? Get back to his best, right? Prove himself, and then maybe come back to Barcelona, right? That's what I think. I don't know what you guys are saying. Let me know what you guys are saying in the chat. But for me, I'm not for this move, man. I'm not for this move. You understand what I mean, right? I think for him, he needs to focus on going out on loan specifically. If he's happy and he believes he can make it here, go out on loan. Go to another La Liga club. Go to like a Betis or like a Las Palmas, or heck, go to Ajax if you want to. Ajax are in Europe next season, right? Go and play for them, right? Go and prove yourself. Go play in European football. Go play Europa League. Go play some football, right? Regular football. And if you cook, then guess what? Barcelona might look at you and say, hey, listen, maybe it might not be a bad option to bring back. But you staying here is not helping you because you're not going to start, right? If we bring in new fullbacks this season, you're not going to play, right, bro? You're just going to be sitting there in the bench, rotting. Heck, you might even be thrown back into the reserves if the manager doesn't have plans for you. Like, what are you going to do then? You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you have to be smart with these kinds of things. But we'll see what happens with him. He says Hector Ford missed out on playing time and winning trophies for Ajax or PSV, and he says missed out playing. He says Hector Ford missed out playing time and winning trophies for Ajax and PSV, and he could develop in 2 years. Exactly. I think he could develop, but he needs to go somewhere where he will be given an opportunity to develop. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, it is. Like I said, Hector Ford should go to Brighton or Monaco. Both teams have. It says should go to Brighton or Monaco. Both teams and already go out and already had a loan. Wait a minute. It says Hector Ford should go to Brighton or Monaco. Both good teams and already had loan Barca players. Bro, you know what? If Hector Ford goes to Brighton, that would actually be a good move for him. Because I think Brighton have this tendency of always like giving opportunities to so many good young players. You understand what I mean? I don't know. I think that would be actually a very, very good move for him. I don't know what you guys say in the chat. Maybe that would be a good move for him. He says, Ford is our only natural right back at the club. So I'm okay. I mean, this is what I mean. See, if you look at the players that have been linked, right? I mean, yeah, to be fair, that is a very, very good point. I mean, here's the thing, right? We've been linked to Van der Sar, right? But that link has kind of died. And the Rateyu deal has also kind of died. I don't know why Barcelona are not trying to go in for a right back, right? Because Grimaldo is a left back, right? I don't know why we're not trying to go in for a right back. So yeah, I mean, you do have a point. He is technically our most natural right back. But the funny thing is, he was our only right back last season, and he barely played. Gerard Martin was being moved down to the right. Bro, even Eric Garcia was being played out in the right back position over him. What does that tell you? What does that tell you, man? At the end of the day, Frankie de Jong is there as long as they claim on him. Is we need Hector Ford to go to PSV or Ajax for development. Plus, easy trophies, good for his morale and development. This is exactly my point. Exactly my point. This is why I want him to make the move as well. This is why I think he should make the move as well for the sake of his career, right? But we'll see what happens. Anyways, Hector Ford is a good player in his game time. But that's the thing. He's a good player in his game time, but he can't. But in Barcelona, is he gonna get that game time? That is what's important. Is he gonna get that game time at the club? Because that is what because he can't just stay here and be rotten, right? Barcelona, there's too much pressure at this club, right? To prove yourself at a club like this. So you gotta work hard. You gotta push you gotta work hard, prove yourself, whether it's in the club or outside the club, and then give the club a reason to notice you. But if you're just sitting there, right, just chilling, having fun, trying to just enjoy your football, it is what it is, right? Right? Or just trying to, rack up trophies. I don't know, man. I'm not for any of that. I'm not here for any of that. You gotta be more ambitious. This Hector Ford will should definitely go out on loan. Ajax seems perfect. Yeah, exactly. Ajax and Barcelona have strong ties. Yes, they do. That's true. That's true. He says Ajax would be a good exactly, and that I would if I were him, I would make the move. Yeah, loan out Hector Ford and Paul Victor. Yep. Anyways, listen, guys, let's continue with some of these transfer news. So Fabrizio Romano recently, I guess, when he was in the zone, he was asked about Barcelona's transfers, and he was saying that Barcelona have a lot of options in the left wing positions, and he can't reveal them all. So let's first of all let's just talk about the players that are in that list, right? So there's Diaz, there's Nico, there's Leao. As much as I hate him, I don't want him. There is Lookman, right? There's Rashford, because I know Rashford going to play Rashford as a striker, but Rashford is one of them. We've been seeing the club being linked to Martinelli, right? That's 6, right? That's just 6 players right there, right? I don't know, man. I mean, what do you guys say in the chat? I mean, the only ones I would look at in the 6 players that are being targeted is Diaz or Nico for me, right? Now, maybe Rashford, I would take him on a loan with an option to buy. That way, if he comes in on loan and cooks, then we can bring him in. You understand what I'm saying? But that's the only way I would bring him in. That's the only way. I don't see any other path. I see no other path. Yeah, big up Ravi, man. Says why Deco wants Grimaldo? That guy has been flirting with Real Madrid after Xabi Alonso joined them. Our standards is low. I mean, has he really been flirting? I mean, let's be honest, right? Grimaldo is one of our own. He's a Barcelona youngster, came from La Masia, wasn't really given any opportunities to prove himself, right? Let's be honest, right? He was never given an opportunity to prove what he could do. Look, at the end of the day, Barcelona did what they did, and maybe he was a little bit salty that he was never given an opportunity. I mean, to be fair, I would say this, right? I would be salty if they treated me the same way, but yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like Barcelona, we should try and bring him back home. It says it's going to be Diaz or Rashford. You know what, Marco? That is who I think. Those are the 2 players I think the club or Deco specifically are interested in bringing in. Those 2 specifically. Those are the 2 that they want to bring in. You understand what I mean? Like the Nico Williams thing, they're not really interested in Nico Williams. They're not really interested in Lookman unless Lookman is like a plan C for them, right? Martinelli is like a plan F for them, right? Who else? Like, okay, so I mentioned Diaz, I mentioned Nico. Like, there's a lot. All these players are like they're not the right players for what the club wants, except these 2. These are the 2 players that Deco and the club want to bring in, Rashford and Diaz. And look, I'm all in for Diaz. I'm only in for Rashford on a loan. So yeah, it is what it is. We go to Mark says Deco out. There you go, man. Says, is Perisic not a midfielder? I mean, he's a versatile player. Hope he can play in all the positions. He can play in the left wing, right left back, right back, in the striker role. He's a very versatile player. That's why I'm not even against the move. I just don't think he's what we need. Honestly, I think we can do better. Says hi, bro. Big up Luca, man. Big up to you, bro. Big up to you. Says, I hear you on Leao. He's just like Diaz, does everything he wants, but converting consistently is frustrating. I mean, to be fair, I think Diaz shows more fight. You know what the thing with Diaz? You know what the difference between Diaz and Leao is? Leao has a tendency to be lazy. You understand what I mean, right? Leao has this tendency to be lazy. He can just decide if he can't be asked, he's just gonna just down tools. Bro, I saw it with AC Milan the whole of last season. He did it so many times last season. Like there's just some points in the game. He just can't be asked to get up and actually try to do things. That's not what I want for my players. I want my players to be able to come out and do their thing on the pitch. You understand what I mean? I want my players to be able to come down and do what they want to do on the pitch. But guess what? He's not one of them. Honestly, for me, he's not one of them. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not for this move, but big up to my guy. Big up to Earl. Says, I genuinely think we have lost the sporting. We have this worst sporting director in Europe. Well, I think this season will probably prove it. If we don't go out and get the players we need, yeah, get him out. Please, we don't need Martinelli. There are speculations that Nico is a Madrid fan. Listen, the speculation that Nico is a Madrid fan. Why didn't he go to Barca? That's why he didn't go to Barcelona, but who knows? He's a very good player. First of all, who the hell cares who he supports? I don't know why people are surprised. I don't know why people are surprised that players who are supporters of previous rivals. Let me just give you a few examples of players who supported rivals who are legends of clubs. Iniesta, one of my favorite players of all time, a legend of Barcelona. Guess what, bro? He's a Madrid fan. He was a Madrid fan. Okay, Modric, Real Madrid legend, one of the best players I've ever seen in my lifetime. Guess what? The guy was a Barcelona fan, right? Neymar played for Neymar had a choice to play between Barcelona and Real Madrid. He was a Madrid fan. He chose to play for Barcelona. That's just a few. What about a player like Raúl? Raúl is a legend of Real Madrid. Guess what, bro? The guy supported Atletico as a kid. He was an Atletico Madrid fan. You understand what I mean? So this whole idea of this guy is a Madrid fan. I don't care, man. I don't care. He won't be the first, and he definitely won't be the last. He says, look at City proper. Look at City moving proper after getting a new sporting director, and we are out here stuck with Deco. Don't even get me started, man. Rashford isn't bad. He's just he would be a good water boy for Rafinha and Yamal. Yeah, it is what it is. Omar, can you please tell us the style of players do you want Barca? What style of players do Barca want to play? What style of players do Barca want to play with going forward? I mean, I think when you look at a guy like Flick, he wants to play a high-intensive, high-line, high-pace, energetic football. You understand what I mean, right? Holding on to the ball, but also be very, very, when aggressive going forward. Like you saw it last season. This is why we scored the most goals we completely wiped the floor when it came to scoring goals last season because we were so high-intensive, right? We are just gung-ho going forward. You understand what I mean? And because of that, I think the players that he wants to bring, especially when it comes to wingers, he wants to bring wingers that are willing to go take their man, run forward, be aggressive in the attack. You understand what I mean, right? That's why he's trying to get in a Luis Díaz. That's why he's trying to get in. That's why he's trying to get in a play of a Luis Díaz ilk. Because Luis Díaz, let's be honest, right? You saw the goal he scored yesterday against Argentina. That's the kind of player that he is. He runs at defenders. He's aggressive, right? He puts defenders backwards. Now, the downside to that style of play is when you have a high line, the defensive line has to be perfect, because if one person misses out on that line, then the whole defensive structure is completely fucked. You understand what I mean? So, yeah, that's what I think. Anyways, and Gramado needs to grow some balls. He was our previous Bombers president. Is different now. He needs to move on. I think Grimaldo himself. Let me say this to you, Mark. I don't think Grimaldo would be completely against the idea of returning back to Barca. I think now, because here's the thing. Before he went to Leverkusen on a free, he was actually open to returning back to us. We just didn't approach. And I think now under this new regime, he will be much more open to returning, right? And that's why we've been linked very heavily to him. You understand what I mean? Right? So I think that when it comes down to it, he will probably return back to us if we go in for him. 100%. I think he will. I think he will. Exactly. Bro, it's because we watch football. You understand what I mean, right? It's because when you watch the game, see, this is a problem. Sometimes people watch highlights of players and they just think, yeah, we need some of that. No, man, it's not always the case. It is not always the case. Sometimes you have to be smart in the transfer window. You understand what I mean, right? You have to be smart. You have to look at these players in general. You have to look at their whole playing style. You need to look at the way they play, the way they move, the way they do things, right? Some of these players are not that good. Hold on. Right? At the end of the day, Leao is a talented player, but the problem with Leao is he's fucking lazy, bro. Unreal. He's absolutely lazy. He chooses when he wants to turn up, right? Sometimes he can just decide to turn up, and then sometimes he just says he just can't be asked. Sometimes he's just like, all right, cool. Nah, man, that's not what I want, especially at Barcelona. That is not what I'm looking for in my fullback. I'm sorry, in my wingers. I want my wingers to be able to give me a 7 out of 10 every game, at least. At least give me a 7 out of 10. Unreal. So yeah, I'm not a fan of this. So that's why I want this move to happen. Give me a second. Oh, there it is. It says Flick could work with Leao as decision making and turning into a beast. There is time for him to work. I think you're getting on the bench now. I mean, look. Let me say this now, okay? You see, when it comes to Leao, yeah, maybe Flick might be able to unlock him. But the problem with Leao is once Flick leaves, this guy's just gonna go back to being who he was. This is my point. This is why I don't trust him. Because I don't think he has that kind of like that thing about him. He's got that heart for it, man. I don't think he does. He says, I won't join Real Madrid. I would rather join Chelsea, Manchester United, or Liverpool. I know what you guys are talking about in the chat. It says, I agree, Leao. I wouldn't take him at Liverpool. He's hot and cold. Yep. This is Joan Garcia played for Espanyol, where he is now, Barca. Oh yeah. You are making the point about players with playing for rivals. There you go. That's a good point. That's a good point. It says, do people forget Raul grew up at electrified? This is what I mean. NJ, this is exactly what I'm trying to say. Like this guy is a legend of Real Madrid. Guess what? He's an Atletico fan. He says, well, fans care. I don't think it's a big problem if Iniesta was a Madrid fan. He's a legend. Dude, it doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter. Exactly. There you go. And you know what's funny? There's so many other players. We could be here all day, bro. I could bring like the fact that Coutinho was a Madrid fan, right? Isco was a Barcelona fan, right? There's so many players that played for the rivals who supported us, and then there are players who play for our club who supported our rivals. It's that simple, man. I would like us to get a left winger similar to a Yamal. That's why I'm all open for the Diaz thing, because I think Diaz is like the closest thing. There's no other players like him, bro. It says, don't be a fool like Arteta. Slap the likes and subscribe. Yo, big up to you, man. Make sure, listen, guys. Make sure you guys smash the likes, man. Smash that like button, man. There's Vinny, Bellingham, Rodrigo, like Barca. You're right. Vinny was a Barcelona fan. That's what Real Madrid fans will never tell you. But he was a Barca fan. He was a Barcelona fan. So yeah, it is what it is. Says Omar, with the players you end up with in the transfer window, what trophies or competition can you realistically win? We can compete if we bring all the players that we need. I think we can compete in all competitions, just like last season. I think next season we'll be even stronger if we got those players. This San Isaac, he would cook with Lamine, bro. I mean, yeah, but dude, it's not gonna happen this season. The stuff like that is why I don't move. That's why it doesn't move me anymore. KDB was a Liverpool fan. There you go. He was a Liverpool fan. His favorite player was Michael Owen. Thank you. Says, I think we should sign a profile of left wingers that can help defensively so that we can be able to have the ball. I mean, that's the thing. There's not a lot of wingers who do those things, are there? There's not a lot of these things. Just lay out. No, come on, man. Don't listen. Do the trust the process somewhere else. Don't do it here. Don't do it here. He says Leao is friends with Aisha Speed, so he's very lazy. Aisha Speed, you know. Yep. It says bro in 2025. He says Leao is just a natural baller. The way he moves past the Spanish defense is going to be crazy. Yeah, dude, I don't disagree. I do believe that Leao is a baller. But the thing with Leao is he has the tendencies to just not be asked. That's a problem. I feel like he has the problem that a lot of ballers have, which is sometimes they just can't be asked to get up and just try. Do you understand what I mean? They just can't be asked to just get up and at least try. And that is the problem that I have with Leao. I think that when it comes down to it, Barcelona, at the end of the day, you haven't really achieved much. See, a player like Ronaldinho, yes, people can say Ronaldinho was lazy, but dude, Ronaldinho had a prime years where he gave everything. You understand what I mean, right? Leao hasn't really done much in football, but the guy, he acts like he's already made it. Like, come on, that's the problem with him. Yeah, he could be the next Kvaratskhelia if he actually got up and actually tried. He says, your boy Deco, in which country is he scouting players? I don't even know, man. I have no idea. This Omar, do you want to do an NBA career mode? Yeah, I might do gaming in the future. He says, Diaz is a trajectory. Wait a minute. Oh, do you mean like signing him? You signing him would beef our squad if we get the signature for a moderate price. Yeah, Maxwell. If we get him for a moderate price, it would be a good deal. 100%. It says, Vinny should have gone to Barca. Him and Yamal were the best friends. Yeah, what could have been? It says, Omar, whose academy is ready to step up in the first team? There's a lot. I've been hearing about this player recently. I will talk about that on another show, but maybe not today. Anyways, it says, Araujo over Christensen is a sin. Don't even get me started on that. Don't even get me started. Exact talk. Talk about Christensen and Araujo, Deco Omar. All right. Well, I'm just going to get into this very quickly. Right? So, when you want to know what I think of the whole situation of Christensen and Araujo, I think this is just another reason why I'm Deco out. It's just another reason I'm Deco out. Deco, you know what? Every time Deco now makes a decision, I'm just pissed off. This guy just pisses me off with everything he does. Every single tiny little thing he does now just pisses me off. It's an absolute joke. Absolute joke, man. It pisses me off. Like, he's trying to sell Christensen and keeping Araujo when it's clear that Christensen works better under the Flick system. And Flick clearly wants Christensen to stay. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Yeah. I know. This is the guy. You're right. Junior here. He's the one that's been linked. But guys, this is let's talk about this final thing before I actually get out of here, guys. Gerard Martin, ladies and gentlemen. Now, there has been a lot of links of Gerard Martin out of the club. Wolves are interested. Now, apparently, Bournemouth, another club now that have shown interest in Gerard Martin. And apparently, the reason why this is important is because if Gerard Martin comes in, Gerard Martin goes, it could give us a leeway to go and actually buy a player of, I don't know, Grimaldo stature, right? Because that's what a lot of people have been saying. They want us to bring in Grimaldo. You understand what Grimaldo is like? We can only sign Grimaldo if Gerard Martin leaves. And listen, at the end of the day, he's not out of options. I think that Barcelona should be looking at bringing him in, right? For sure. But let me know what you guys are saying about this. Let me know what you guys are saying about this Gerard Martin move. Do you think Barcelona should get rid of Gerard Martin and get this move, move, done so that we can go and actually get some left wingers? You understand what I'm saying? I'm sorry, go and get a brand new fullback. Tell me what you guys are saying. Says Gerard Martin is Elche level. Yeah, you've already made that clear, man. It says that's the semis increase Martin's stock. Yep. I mean, listen, he's definitely, yeah, everyone is interested right now. So I think Barcelona should look at taking him out. Yeah, maybe getting in another winger, right? Or another player in this team. But yeah, it's gonna be very, very interesting to see for sure. It's gonna be very interesting to see. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, look, as far as I'm concerned, if you ask my opinion on this move, I think Barcelona should get rid of Martin, to be honest, because let's just be objective. He's not gonna he's not the kind of guy that we need. You understand what I mean, right? In the direction that we're going. You understand what I mean? He's not the kind of player that we need. So at the end of the day, we need to go out and we need to go get another winger and potentially, go do our thing, right? I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep saying winger. I'm trying to say fullback, right? I think we need to go and get us another fullback because Gerard Martin is now Barca level. So if Bournemouth want him, if Brighton want him, let's just see who gives us the best deal, right? Whoever gives us the best deal, we'll sell him to the best to the highest bidder, right? And then go and get in Grimaldo. And plus, bringing in, letting Gerard Martin go helps us be able to register a new fullback next season, right? And then we can go all out for Grimaldo for sure. Grimaldo. So yeah, that's what I think. But let me see what you guys are saying here. Yeah, NJ, you and Hopes are just in the chat, just arguing. Let's see. It says, get that bum Martin out of my club. Yep. I hear you. Yo, big up to my guy, Mohammed, says, sell him now. Listen, I think the consensus is very, very clear that, Barca fans, we've made our decision, right? It's nothing personal. It's just football. You feel me, right? And Barcelona just need to make sure we do our thing and go and get the players that we need to win us the Champions League and basically get us back to where we need to be. We can't do this whole, because you know what the problem with a lot of football fans is? They're so, how do I put it? They're very sensitive. They're very insensitive. They're always like, but this player was a La Masia player. He's one of our own. This and this and this. Nah, man. Nah. I'm all for let's go and bring the players that are actually going to improve the club. How about that? Since me and Hope are not arguing, we're actually on the right side of the topic. Yeah, I know. I'm just trolling. Anyways, guys, that is all this today for the transfer news. Tell me what you guys think of all the moves I've been talking about today, guys. Tell me what you guys are saying about some of the moves I've been talking about. The Díaz one, the move for Joan Garcia. How happy you guys are about that move. Tell me what you guys are saying about Gerard Martin, about Rashford, every other player that I've just mentioned in these topics, guys. Let me know what you guys are saying in the comment section below, guys. We will be closing out. Big up to every single one of these guys. It says, after watching the under-23 Spain, Martin is not useful and Pablo Torres injured. There you go. But yeah, man. Yeah, big up to my guy, NJ, man. Listen, guys. This stream will be redirecting you all to Michael TV10, guys. He's actually doing a watch-along of the under-21s. Who is he doing? He's doing Portugal versus France, guys. He's doing the watch-along for the Portugal versus France game. Go in there, guys. Put Omar BYT. Big up to my guy, Havertz, man. You just came in when I was about to close out. Big up to you, bro. But yeah, listen, man. Big up to every single one of you guys. Go to Michael TV10's channel, guys. Put Omar BYT Raid in the comment section below. He's doing the watch-along for the under-21 game between Portugal and France. And big up to every single one of you guys. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. I might be back later on today, guys, because I'm going to be starting a new show called the Camp Nou Confidentials, guys. I'm planning on starting it today, guys. So if you guys or about maybe in the next 2-3 hours, guys, I will be back here, guys, for the show, man. Listen, you were late. Don't blame me, brother. But yeah, man, big up to you guys. Make sure you guys smash the like button. Make sure you guys smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications. And peace, you guys. Take care. Oops. I pressed it. Oh, wait a second. There you go.